What is going on, everybody? What is going on, the Catch fam? It is Steven here, and in today's video, we are going to be breaking down the must-start kickers for your fantasy football teams going into Week 11. And if you are not already a part of the Catch fam, make sure to hit that subscribe button, join the best community in all of fantasy football. And if you do like this video or any of the other videos that we post throughout the week, we do greatly appreciate it if you hit that like button. It truly means a ton to the channel. But most importantly, make sure to get in those comments. Let us know what is going on in your current rosters or your waivers so we can help set you up ahead of Sunday so you can get that W against your opponent, guys. But with all that said, let's get into it. Let's get into the must starts. We have the benefit of looking at some kickers that are going to be really good here because you think defenses and other skill players get dropped with bye week going on. Man, the kicker position is no exception to that, guys. And we're going to have some kickers that drop roster percentage pretty high here. So I'm going to flag a couple three that are going to be relatively still higher rostered, but an exception, you need to go out and get these guys for sure. Number one, Justin Tucker versus the Panthers here. Coming off the bye week, we are going to see this guy drop roster percentage wise, and you get the whole bye week to rest up. His offense is going to look good. I imagine Mark Andrews is going to be coming back, and he is going to look good. Justin Tucker is the number 2 kicker on the season, guys, coming into this week, and he is a fantastic play, guys. Obviously, this dude is just a stud, best kicker in the league history, man. The guy's a legend. Really gets around that double-digit performances week over week. Doesn't matter about the performance. The only downside to this guy is sometimes Harbaugh goes a little wild and goes for 2-pointers rather than the extra point attempt. I don't think he's going to need to do any of that against Carolina. I think he gets a very heavy dose of that extra point opportunity against Carolina, but I think he also gets his field goal opportunities for sure. And regardless, this is a dude that if he is dropped, you need to go out and get him because he is a league-winning kicker. That is right, a league-winning kicker. Next, we're talking about Nick Folk from the University of Arizona. Wildcat Nation, step up, baby. He's an absolute stud, guys. Look at what he did before the bye week, 17 fantasy points against the Colts. And wow, that's not even his best because the week before that against the Jets, he had 21 points. Now he gets to go up against the Jets again at home, baby. Watch out for the weather if it snows or it gets windy or a lot of rain. Obviously, it's Foxborough. Things get wild, but I honestly am trying to get this guy on my team because he's a league-winning kicker just like Justin Tucker is. This guy's ceiling is massive, and he is so consistent. The Patriots love to get their field goals, baby. Go ahead and snag. Last no-brainer kicker that I'm going to talk about here is a guy that actually is probably going to get aggressively dropped. I would imagine Daniel CARLSON for the Raiders. If he gets dropped, pick him up. He had a bad stinker against the Colts, baby. Only 2 points. Man, that was gross. Probably one of the grossest performances he's had in his career. I understand he also had the dud against the Saints in Week 8. We are starting to see a little bit more inconsistency out of Daniel CARLSON because this offense has really kind of taken a step back. This is now the number 6 kicker on the year, so I understand there's some concerns around this guy, but the bottom line is he is still one of the best kickers in this game, one of the best opportunities fantasy-wise that you are going to get out of the kicker position. He has had massive performances all throughout his career. Going up against the Broncos, I think this is going to be a great spot too because the Broncos are really good at stuffing up the offense in the red zone, and that is going to open up opportunities for Daniel CARLSON to do his thing. I think he gets back into it this week against the Broncos. Up next, we're talking about a guy that I'm still not seeing high enough rostered, ladies and gentlemen. That's GANO from Florida State. Need to go out and get him. I had him last week. I've had him multiple weeks this year. Go out and put this guy on your rosters, guys. 7 fantasy points against the Houston Texans. He actually got out-dueled by the opponent kicker, FAIRBAIRN. But I tell you what, man, GANO still looked good. He still looked as solid as he's been all year, getting very close to the double-digit performances, which is what we want to see out of our kicker. This week, he's got the Detroit Lions, so another fantastic opportunity. And this is a guy that 5 weeks already done with. You can roster him, you can hold him, and I think he's going to have some juicy matchups going forward. GANO, go out and snag this guy. This is the type of dude you want on your team because the Giants are like the Patriots. They value the kicks. They value the points. They are not about turning the ball over. They are not about empty possessions. They are about points, baby. Go out and feed the Brian Daboll-led GANO kicker. Up next, we're going to talk about who out-dueled GANO. We're talking about FAIRBAIRN from the Houston Texans going up against the Washington Commanders. I think this is going to be a good play, right? What do the Texans like to do? They like to feed Dameon Pierce, while the Washington Commanders are actually pretty stout relatively against the run. So we'll see how that works out. But the Washington Commanders can be beat through the air. So maybe this ball still gets moved down the field with Davis Mills, the legend, right? And I think FAIRBAIRN gets his opportunities against the Commanders. And when he gets the opportunities, he shows out, right? last week. 11 fantasy points against the Giants. He had 3 field goals made, 1 from the 40 to 49 range. And we've seen him have some big time performances like that too. He's had 4 weeks with double-digit performances, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is a beast. You need to go out and snag him. He's a top 10 player, and I think that continues this week against the Washington Commanders. Up next, we're talking about a deeper league option here. Robbie Gould for the San Francisco 49ers. Gould the Goblin, baby. This dude is a stud veteran, man. He's 39 years old. He is welcoming 40 years because 40 years of kicking excellence. This guy's a beast, right? 9 fantasy points against the Chargers. He looked good, made all 3 of his field goals. I like to see it, ladies and gentlemen. And now going up against the Arizona Cardinals, this is going to be a very good option because Arizona Cardinals are weak against the kicker position. This is not a home game for Arizona. This is actually going to be overseas, so this will be fun. We'll see the veteran travel here. He's going to get his rest on the plane, and he's going to kick the mess out of that ball against the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to lose this game too. I think the 49ers are going to continue the smash mouth football with Elijah Mitchell and Christian McCaffrey, and it's going to open up plenty of opportunities for our guy Gould, who I think is going to make a late season push to get himself in higher rankings for the kicker position. Last kicker I'm going to talk about, guys, is a top 10 kicker that I have not mentioned much this season. And I feel bad about it because Greg the Leg, baby, welcome back. I talked about this dude all last season. Look at this guy's photo, man. He's an absolute legend, guys, from Missouri Western State. Absolute stud. Number 8 on the season. He had 10 fantasy points right before the bye week against the Buffalo Bills. You know he's going to be dropped, and he was already low rostered, man. Greg ZUERLEIN, absolute stud. I want him here against the New England Patriots, right? Only 4 fantasy points last time they played, right? But I think that he's going to bounce back here. They got a whole bye week to rest up to figure this out. I think the offense is still going to struggle for sure. I think Zach Wilson's still going to struggle, but Greg ZUERLEIN's not going to struggle, baby. He's been looking good all season long, especially with that full month stretch right before the bye week. He's really kind of turned it up here. So I like Greg ZUERLEIN in some deeper league options. I think he's going to be available aplenty, guys. Go ahead and grab Greg the Leg because he's got New England, Chicago, and Minnesota. Some tasty options, right? Go out and snag him, baby. Greg ZUERLEIN. Let him take you home. And with that said, guys, this has been the must-start kickers for your fantasy football teams going into week 11, guys. If you are not already a part of the Catch Fam, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join the best community in all of fantasy football. Make sure to hit that like button if you do like this video, guys. It means a ton to the channel. Get that support, guys. But most importantly, get in those comments. Let us know how we can help your teams, whether it's a kicker, advice, defense, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, or waiver support. We are here to help you out, guys. So make sure to leave those comments. And with all that said, this has been the Must Start Kickers, and you saw it here first at the Catch.